Moving on to the Pacific Division, the LA Clippers, Rucker. What are we doing? That's my question. Just what are we doing?
I don't know. I have no idea. So maybe you can help me. Maybe someone can help me.
Help me. Help you.
Help me help you. One, I still don't get the logo. Two, the stadium looks cool. I've seen some videos. Still looks cool. Looks a little bit much. Still don't get what we're doing. I just couldn't hate the roster more. So,
do you want to hear their leading shot attempts in
I'd love to.
preseason?
Please go for it.
Who do you think's first?
Probably Kevin Porter.
Ooh, close. No, Bones Highland at 11.5.
Prove it here, Bones Highland.
God. Kevin Porter is second at 9.8. James Harden 9.3. Norman Powell 6.7. Amir Coffey turned into a nice player at 6.3. Kai Jones at 6.3. Derek Jones Jr. at 5.8. Ivica Zubac at 5.8. What are we doing? Kawhi Leonard out indefinitely.
You know what's the problem with all of that? Why are we not saying Jordan Miller and Kobe Brown? Like, Why are they not getting minutes?
Because it's the preseason, and when you can give Bones Highland and Kevin Porter Jr. almost 10 shot attempts a game, you just have to do it,
You're probably trying to sell it of like, hey, come on, trade us. I'm going to give him a little bit of time. I'm going to try to be open-minded. I like Amir Coffey. I like Norman Powell. I've always been a very big fan of. Everybody knows this about me. Kai Jones being one of the top shot attempts, fine. He doesn't have a lot of probably competition for minutes off the bench. I don't know what they're doing. I think Harden's going to have a huge statistical start because they don't have much else. I don't mean that in a bad. You know what I'm trying to say though. Like Batum is like going to be. I just don't know what they're doing.
Player, but
they keep thinking Batum is 5 years younger.
But he keeps making it impossible not to play him.
He might have found the fountain of youth, so I get it. The Kawhi thing was just like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a what if in NBA history. So we also forgot they've got Mo Bamba.
Oh, did we forgot that? We forgot. That's what happened. That's why he wasn't mentioned, because we forgot.
Oh man. No, you know what I'm saying. I'm just like, this roster, this whole offseason has just been like, what are we doing here?
I don't know. It's a bunch of stuff that
PJ Tucker is still technically on the roster, but got told to go away.
Yeah, exactly.
PJ probably said, can you guys tell me to go away? I don't know, man.
It's bad vibes all around. I hate it. Shockingly. Well, so they somehow have a positive net rating in the preseason. I know preseason. With a defensive rating of 95.4 and an offensive rating of 101.5. I'm going to say one of those numbers is more real than the other, and I will just kind of leave it at that.
And they're going to somehow be like the 5 seed at one point. I'm going to be like, Ty Lue is just a madman. That dude can coach. So
very true.
Very true. I've always
coached the hell out of a basketball team.
I was sleeping on him early, and he is a hell of a basketball coach. I wonder why he ever got out of Cleveland. So I just don't know what the Clippers are doing this year. Can't wait to watch it. The Clippers have a roster. If you're playing GM in 2K, you're like, this is the perfect tank roster. I'm going to sell Harden for picks. I'm going to like.
But it's not, because they don't have their own picks still.
Exactly. So. OKC fans agree with my statement. So it's gross. So I don't know.
It's a lot. I'm done with them. Moving on to the Phoenix Suns. Ryan Dunn?
Baby! Oh, man.
Ryan Dunn?
Ryan Dunn, baby. But, very early. Let's just calm everyone down. Also
Well, what if we didn't?
yeah, but what if we did it? Also love how many people became Ryan Dunn experts. That was fun. I love you guys. You're all fun. But it was also just like the meme of looking around the room like, come on. Yeah, Ryan Dunn rocks is just the shot. I also think it's very important to remember, like, we have to watch the strengths of a player. And like we get fascinated about the weakness, but it's like, what if the weakness starts to come around a little bit? What if we can improve the weakness? Look what Ryan Dunn just did in what, 6 months? Like,
Yes, but my counter to that is that Ryan Dunn made as many threes in 2 years at Virginia as he has in 4 games in the preseason. So I wouldn't necessarily classify that as that feels more outlier
no,
than
for sure. But
rule
you
of
know
thumb.
what? Me and you talked about this before we hit record. It's not like the shot is just magically completely overhaul. It looks like someone tinkered with it tightly and gave him some confidence, and he's playing now in a system of like, Ryan, shoot the damn ball, and probably spent his whole pre-draft process just shooting and shooting and shooting. Like,
Yeah.
it was never a thing with Ryan Dunn about the rest of the stuff. Like, he is he's one of the best defensive wing prospect, like perimeter defensive guys that I've seen or scouted. And it was can he just develop any sort of confidence from
Yeah.
outside? And now he's shooting pull up transition threes. And it's like, if that's happening, this could be a top 5 player from this class just because of how long, like, if Ryan Dunn starts shooting mid 30s from 3, he's going to play 12 plus years in the NBA and probably be in all defensive team conversations eventually. Like, dude's a maniac.
Yeah,
So,
he's Sean Marion.
with potentially a better shot. Like, I never thought the
I'm not
shot
going
was
that far.
broken. You know, Sean Marion, yeah, Hall of Famer. But I never thought the shot was broken. I thought it
No,
looked
but you
good.
wouldn't even
He
look
just
at
had
the rim.
he had no confidence at all.
Right.
I was like, someone just needs to get him to
Right.
you just need to believe.
This quick of a pivot where 80% of his shot attempts are coming from 3 is incredibly encouraging. So
Yes.
hopefully it's sustainable. That'd be fun. Now, as a Timberwolves fan, that would suck. But as a basketball fan, it'd be very fun. And it'd be one of those really cool kind of scouting fallacies, lessons, whatever you want to kind of classify it as. But I also don't think that this should be the rule of thumb where if we have a multi-year college guy this year who has 0 track record of shooting, don't go pointing to Ryan Dunn being like, "Oh, well, this one guy
If
did
Ryan
it."
Dunn can do it, why can't
Right.
he?
Yeah.
No, you're right though, because
Because that happened when Sanders started shooting. It's like, "Oh, well, why can't this guy eventually learn how to shoot?" It's like, well, because he can't because he has no touch.
it's
So it's
context.
tricky.
It comes down to the player. It comes down to the fit. It comes down to a lot of things have to go right, but it also comes down to like when I'm not saying like I was like I have my misses, but like when I was scouting Ryan Dunn, I was like, the shot is not broken. This shot is not like, oh gosh, it's Ben Simmons and it's Lonzo Ball. Someone's gonna have to work with this a ton. I was like, it's consistent. There looks like a good foundation. It's smooth. It just there was nothing. There was no belief in it. It was hesitation to like doubt. And I was like, he just needs someone to grab him and be like, just shoot. Like, just shoot. It's okay if you go 0 for 5. It is okay. You're still going to play. So it looks like he's had the perfect offseason. This is what we were also hearing buzz late pre-draft cycle. Like, that was the buzz coming through. It was like, hey, Dunn's shooting the crap out of it. And it's like, okay, is he shooting? Like, you made the joke. Is he shooting the crap out of it in an empty gym? Or is he shooting like it looks good? And people were like, oh, it looks good. So it's probably one of my favorite things to watch right now. I have a good buddy of mine who's a diehard Suns fan that will not stop texting me about Ryan Dunn. He's like, I know you wrote about your big Dunn guy. Like, I know. Shout out Nima. He's going nuts right now. And I was like, just buckle up until the defense starts to come along now. Like, it's going to be scary.
Yeah, and just quick shout out to Brian Brian in the chat. He's saying that he had done it 14 originally, but then moved him to 22 after people told him that his ranking was insane. Go with your gut. It's
Go with
evaluation.
your
Go with
gut.
what you see. Go with what you believe. Don't let other people influence you one way or the other. You know,
I overthought it.
in
I had him
in
at 8.
reasonable context. Now, this is
I had him
very
at
fun
8
by
and moved
Ryan
him to
Dunn.
20s.
Let's see what he looks like in a month.
Yeah, 100%. Because right now we're like, hey, he would have gotten top 5.
He
Brian
would have.
Dunn still's got he
If he
would have
shot
because of his
40% from
defense.
3 in college, yeah. If he shot
If he shot
37,
40% from 3 with
he'd probably be 1.
he'd probably be the first pick.
Yeah.
At 6'8" with that defense, yeah, he'd probably be the first pick. But we got a long way to go.
All right,
Very
moving on.
exciting. Go ahead. Sorry.
Moving on.
Now I'm pumped.
The Los Angeles Lakers. So
No,
many
screw that.
questions. So many questions. But I have to ask the most important one. Can Max Christie get actual minutes this year?
I don't think so. Why did they re-sign him if they're not going to play him?
Hey, he's been playing in summer or in preseason.
Amazing that we had to go summer league. Yeah, I think he'll get some minutes.
He's looked good in preseason.
You know what, Metcalf? They've got to play him.
The defense looks good. The defense has always looked good. The shot's still a little streaky, but I buy it. Especially in a spot up context.
They've got to play him. I don't know what their bench is going to look like. I feel like their bench is a bunch of like, maybe not so much. Like,
so I'm going to read through the only perimeter players who have gotten minutes in the preseason.
Okay, perfect.
Connect, D'Lo, Hachimura, Christie, Reeves, LeBron, Hochefino, Vincent, and sort of Cam Reddish. So it's a lot of guards.
Sort of Cam Reddish, my favorite.
Forwards. He's at like 9 minutes in like 1 or 2 games.
mean, Vanderbilt's still hurt?
Yeah.
Well, he's been hurt forever?
Pretty much.
Man, what a weird one. I think they've got to connect. They've got to play. They got to be trying to figure out what's going to happen with like who's going to be stepping up. I think Connect's been fine. Christie's defense has to get him minutes.
Yeah. And if he can make a corner 3 on top of that, I still buy the shot long term. I think it looks good. I think it's smooth. I don't need it. I'm not asking him to go out there and create the pick and roll or go ISO or anything like that, but defend at an average to above average level, knock down corner 3s at a reliable clip.
I agree.
That can't get you 7th man in the rotation.
He should get minutes. I mean,
8th, maybe. No offense. I forgot about Jackson Hayes. Sorry.
Like, why are we playing Reddish over Christie?
Have you seen Reddish's AAU film though?
Yeah, Anthony Edwards told me about that. No, but it's time. Get some use in there. Yeah, that's all I got. Lakers. That's all I got. I'm sorry, Lakers fans. That's all I got.
Okay. What I think is a vastly more interesting team, the Sacramento Kings. Traded for DeMar DeRozan, Harrison Barnes gone. Can they defend it all? So
I'm worried about the Kings this year. I shout out our boy Nick. I've heard some rumblings with the Kings, and I don't know if I love it.
Yeah.
Now, preseason rumblings usually don't mean much, but a little worried. Just a little worried. Now, I think they're going to still be fun. They're going to be scrappy. But, yeah, I don't love the defensive assets on the roster. So are they just saying, screw it, we're going to score more than you?
I mean, Sabonis not exactly a plus defender. De'Aaron Fox improved a lot as a defender last year. Getting rid of Harrison Barnes alone, just given how he was moving last year, should help. Keegan Murray's okay, but I think he's going to have to take a big jump. DeMar DeRozan he's fine. He's not a stopper.
They have no guys that are just
Keon Ellis. That's it.
And then Keegan. And
would you classify Keegan as a good defender?
I would classify Keegan as
smart defender.
Yeah.
Okay. But like he's
That's
not
the problem.
he's not locking up a guy one-on-one.
No, but they're probably wanting him to. They were wanting him to, I feel like, early when in his career. I mean, it is pretty alarming.
Yeah,
Herder. I mean, look
like
at they just
no,
signed Doug McDermott. They've got Kevin Herder. You go through the roster, and I'm like, okay, who's the all defensive Kings teams right now? Like, who are you putting? Malik Monk.
You want to hear a depressing stat?
I would love to.
So per Cleaning the Glass, they had the 18th best defense last year, and the last time they had better than the 18th best defense was 2005-2006 season, where they were 11th.
I need that roster right now. Okay, so you keep going right now. I want to look up some of these names. 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. So, I mean, what are you thinking? Are you think they're going to have a good year?
I don't know. I think it's going to be really tricky. I think the mid-range is going to get really bogged down. I think there's some really fascinating and cool creative stuff that they could run with, the 2-man and 3-man games between Sabonis and Fox and DeRozan. But they all kind of operate from the same or similar areas. Now, Fox has continued to grow kind of year over year as a shooter. I think he's going to have to take another meaningful step. Keon Ellis was fantastic at the end of last year. And I think he's going to have to be really impactful as that really high level role player. Last year, their defense was 3.2 points better when he was on the court than off, which was 78th percentile. Outside of him, I'm not sure I would classify anyone as an above average defender. Maybe Fox, but I still think that's a reasonable question.
I have to name drop this team. The 2005-06.
Yes, please.
Sacramento Kings. Ron Artest. I refuse to call him his new name. Mike Bibby, Brad Miller, Peja, Bonzi Wells, one of my favorites. Kenny Thomas, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Kevin Martin, and rookie year Francisco Garcia. Also, fun shout out. Jason Hart was on this team.
Holy cow.
So,
feel old yet?
Yeah, feel old yet? That's incredible. Wow. Ronnie Price, also rookie year. What a team. What a team. Corliss Williamson. Yeah. I just don't. I think they're gonna just try to outscore everyone, which is fine. You're all in. You went to get DeRozan. You're trying to get firepower to just compete.
But does that get them over the 7th seed? Does it get them out of the play-in? And I don't think it does.
It should, right? Here's my big thing. I like Mike Brown. I get scared about Mike Brown lengthy tenures. Yeah. I think Mike Brown's a very, very good coach to get you back on the right path and get you feeling good about your team. And then I get worried, like, is that the man that you give multiple extensions to? And it's nothing against Mike Brown. I'm just wondering, it just seems like, do you all of a sudden have to kind of get new? Because, it's one thing, Metcalf, to have a good coach that knows how to reconnect and that voice doesn't sound like grow tiresome to your vets. You don't see it a lot. It's like it's a gift. So I don't know. Like,
okay.
Clearly, you agree with me that they're just all in on offense.
I think so. Which has to frustrate the living hell out of Mike Brown, who's historically been more of a defensive guy. But they have the pieces to run some really fun offensive stuff. They're just going to have to run it at a incredibly high level all the time.
I can't wait to watch them. They're going to be very fun to watch.
It'll be very interesting. But kind of along those same lines, the Golden State Warriors, I liked a lot of their additions. I think they did some fun stuff. Are they going to be able to protect the rim at all?
I think I'm sort of back in on the Warriors this year.
Define back in.
I think they're going to give it one last run. Like, I think they're going to be good. I like the additions. They got shooters. I think Pods is going to have a good step up. I think TJD is going to have a big step up.
That's a big one.
It's a big one. I think it's a lot of it's implying on the bench. Bad taste in your mouth last year. I think they're going to make a little push, and it's you only got so many more years with the chef. It's time to give one last all right, let's make a serious run at this. And I think Anderson's a sneaky good at slow-mos for them. Did his shot look different in a preseason game? Did I
No,
see a clip and I was like, what the
don't,
hell was that?
don't do it.
Well,
No,
what was that? Why did it look weird and very quick? I actually wanted him to slow down. But Buddy Hield's like a little bit of a nice wild card. They had someone else I liked.
D'Anthony Melton.
Yes, Melton. So I like it. The rim protection, though, it is big on TJD. Go ahead.
Yeah, so to answer my question, I don't think they will.
No.
Last year, they ranked 20th, allowing opponents to shoot over 67% at the rim, and they ranked last, allowing opponents shoot 47.5 in the short mid range. So those little floaters, like restricted area to like 7 feet ish range. So interior defense was really, really bad. However, they did rank first in opponent at rim shot frequency. So they gave up pretty much the vast majority of shots at the rim, but they rarely allowed opponents to get there. And I think that's what they're going to have to lean on again with a lot of their perimeter defenders. Kyle Anderson, not the most athletic, but incredibly smart, knows where to be. The tallest player on their team, aside from Quentin Post, who I'm not expecting to get major minutes, if at all, is Kevon Looney at 6'9". Same with Kyle Anderson, and TJD is listed at 6'8". So they don't have a whole lot of size, but they've done this before. So it's not necessarily something new. And if Wiggins kind of finds his groove like he did in their title season again, if Kuminga takes another jump, if D'Anthony Melton fits like we think he will, if Gary Payton II is healthy, Pods is there, TJD is a really reliable, explosive rim protector rebounder off the bench, I think it'll be enough where they're able to limit shots and kind of scheme the weakness out of the game, or at least minimize it to the best of their ability based on how they've constructed this team.
Yeah, completely agree. I have to interrupt you because a fan commented on YouTube. Shout out YouTube. We love you guys. Your boy Kobe Buffkin tonight had 31.
You're goddamn right he did. You are
31, 3, and 4 on 12 of 26. So he had some buckets. So yeah,
Buffkin
go ahead.
Voice.
Big year for Buffkin. Big year.
Okay. We're going to move on right after our last break.